Hello, Cosplay World, we're back, and I cannot edit this. That's why there's no outro or details, or I'm just going to upload this MP4 directly to YouTube and hope for the best. But we'll get into that in a second. First and foremost, I have a prop I mailed out, I don't know, must have been like a week ago. But anyway, he got it. He's like, I just want to double check, make sure I'm putting this together right. Alright, so what he has is this big sword. You got a 4-foot section and I believe a 1.5-foot section. So the thing's almost 6 foot in full length. Pretty big, heavy sword. And we want to make sure that thing goes together right. So I don't have the big piece of pipe, but I should. For this side, I don't know. I think Jack stole it because he steals this. He steals this. Okay. But here we have a representation of the connection in the most awkward way I can imagine. Just duct taping the pipe together. Alright, so typically when I do my connection pieces, I have a big piece of pipe, or I have a piece of pipe, and you stick your wood dowel through in order to kind of hold together via friction, right? There you go. But the problem here in these bigger projects is that it will turn. So that's why we have our secondary pipe here. So while the big pipe goes in the big pipe, little pipe goes in the little pipe. Ah, damn it. Come on. There we go. And so now we have the support, and it can't really turn because they line up. Obviously, I'd be putting screws, and it would not. These things don't go anywhere. All right. So because this thing is a big, like 5.5 foot long sword, this pipe is particularly snug. This is so that when you're moving around, it doesn't wiggle. Wiggling is bad. It leads to the sword just kind of slowly coming off. And with something that big, we don't want that to happen because it can hit the ground and hurt somebody or hurt itself or whatever the case may be. But if you want to loosen it, I would suggest hitting the pipe that's on the sword hilt, the sword blade, heating that up a bit and softening it with a hairdryer or heat gun, preferably if you have a heat gun. And so to allow the wood dowel to more easily enter. Make sure that when it's cooling, you wiggle this, wiggle the pipe to your liking, to your preferred friction, because when it cools down, it's going to obviously be stuck in that position. And if you just let the pipe, if you just stick it in there as it cools down, the pipe is going to cool and grab onto it. It's going to pretty much, it's going to be very, very difficult to get apart. But if you do it too wiggly, obviously, then your sword falls apart at convention. Alright, so you are putting it together. It's pretty snug. That's the idea. It needs to be really snug. If you can't do it by traditional means, by force, you have the hilt or the pommel of the sword, the bottom of the sword, and you can tap that softly and slowly. Say over, it'll probably only move an eighth of an inch at a time. So tap, and that will get your sword into place. The reason why I say softly because I don't want you to just go, okay, cool, I got the idea, knives, bam! Ooh, okay, I probably shouldn't do that either. And just slam it right in there and potentially damage the sword. I imagine just tapping will scratch the paint off, but just wrecking the sword in some way by just slamming it in the ground. So there you go. Pretty simple explanation. If you, hope it was helpful. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now on to the rest of this Monday rant. What's going on Monday? So we didn't have one last Monday. What could have possibly have happened? And why am I not editing and rendering to upload? I'm just uploading this raw. Well, my C drive is quite old, and I've been rendering and editing video for a number of years. So this is just something that happens to C drive. They wear out, they get corrupted, all that good stuff. And my C drive is very clearly on that road. It's active, or its percentage is usually 100% active time, and so that just once that peaks out, my computer freezes, even though I can access. I can't really move anything around raw computer talk. Okay, it's very obviously my C drive. Oh, so I need a new one. I'm going to have to save a little bit until a few paychecks come in, or commission, and then I'm going to get a new C drive, and then I'm going to get a new operating system. I need a new one because the old one is out of uses. Oh well. 8.1 with the classic skin of Windows is, I'm told, okay. And when 10.0 comes out, I don't know. We'll see what's going on there. But right now, Windows 8.1 is only like $90, so I'm not gonna be too worried about that. That's not a bad price if I can get multiple uses out of my out of all of my computers. Yeah, there you go. I also, I was planning on getting a completely new rendering engine and using this as my gaming / 3D printing engine. So it's not a huge issue. Worst case scenario is I have an extra C drive for additional processing power. No, I mean just an extra one, and an extra C drive for uses of C drives. Oh well. So I'm not too worried about buying a new C drive. That's just age and wear and maintenance on your computer. Have I done these things? Not really. I worked on this, but these are pretty much, they require me to go into a ton of Photoshop. The problem with my computer is that I can, once a program starts, it runs okay-ish, but I can't access files. It just takes forever to move one thing to another. Again, accessing the C drive. So every time I go into Photoshop to produce parts for these three segments, it's just a pain in the ass. So those are going to have to wait. The formatting, again, I need Photoshop. Oh, God. And then giveaway props. I haven't done streams. I don't know. There they are. They are mostly, obviously, here we go. They are pretty well done. I'm been working on my computer, saving it. First I went through and organized my existing external hard drives, cleaned out anything I'm not going to use. Obviously, I delete the things like the Monday Rant, anything that says voiceover, anything that says, I think even Tip Tuesdays, because guess what? I'm probably never going to use that footage again. I can just record those again with new relevant information. It's my raw footage of my projects that I keep, and as well as the progress pictures and finished pictures. Those are what I'm really concerned about, as well as a few other things, such as I've been gathering up the files I use regularly, such as my pre-prepared rendering settings or files. It saves me a bit of time in the process where I don't need to make the same setup every single time. I can just pop in video footage, edit it in, and then it's just quicker. Speaking of which, I have Tip Tuesdays, and I have Tip Tuesdays for the next month, and I have, what is it, a con life for 3 weeks. After that, I'm hoping that this issue is cleared up before then, that I can get enough money to deal with that. Wish me luck, guys. Actually, wish me luck on uploading this. Well, at that point you'll know. I've also been organizing my important files, such as reference art I'm still using, old footage that I maybe never rendered but were still on my C drive. There was a time when I didn't religiously use my external hard drive. Generally important information that's just on my computer. I still have all of my old college papers. I don't know why, I just have them. It's like I'll probably never use them again ever, but I have them. Oh well. So just gathering all that stuff up for the reformat, because I'm pretty sure when you reformat, it's all going to be gone. And just getting all that done. And it's pretty slow work in that anything I have to move through my C drive, of course, it just takes like 5 minutes just to select it and move it file by file. It's pretty, but I got to do it before my C drive just completely dies. Oh well. Streaming. I'm trying to get Sonny to run the stream. He has the passwords and all that stuff. But I can maybe join in a Google Hangout. That's all up to if I can get him to do that. I don't know. It's really hard to get other people to do all the back end things. It's hard enough to get people to show up, but getting them to actually in general, I would prefer to try and get other cosplayers or commissioners to produce the same kind of video content I do. I don't know if you guys know this, but it takes a lot of work to do this, and a lot of people do not see the benefit in doing so. They don't want to invest in that work to eventually, like in a year or two, have it pay off in the way it's paid off for me. So making that pitch to other cosplayers is pretty rough, especially when they often it's the combination of time, equipment, and passion, or those combinations are pretty rare to get all of them. Like Jax comes in, he doesn't have the equipment, but he has the time and he has the passion to do stuff. So if he comes in, he can use my equipment and he can at least my space and all that, and he can produce content. But rendering and uploading all that stuff is maybe not hard work, but it's time consuming, and it's something they have to learn, and it's a really hard pitch to make to other people. So I hope you appreciate me making these kinds of videos for you guys. Rah! Rah! Appreciate me! Oh well, this is a Monday rant. This is just for me to talk to the camera anyway. A bit therapeutic. Streaming has been pretty therapeutic. I'm either by myself, kind of going over my thought process, even if no one's watching me, and in that process it allows me to more clearly plan out what I'm doing, I suppose. If I'm with people in stream, I get to interact with them, or sorry, in the chat room. I can't really see, the problem is I can't really see my screen, so it's hard to interact with them. But I do get to more accurately talk about what I'm doing. What I mean is, if someone's listening, if I know that they're listening, I will go in and take the time to explain in detail what's happening in front of them, what they're seeing. If there is another commissioner or another, cosplayer, I probably don't need to say those things. They probably already know that. A lot of my rants, they probably heard them before. And so then I just shoot the shit, which is also relaxing in a way. So, I don't know. There's various levels to doing the streaming, which I'm enjoying and figuring out and all that good stuff. But I probably won't be doing any of those until I can get the C drive issue fixed. I would prefer for my computer to just not be dead for all of eternity. I would like to be able to use it. Oh well. There you go. There's my update. And for all those, probably a dozen or so have probably made it this far, hey, thanks. Hope you find this interesting. It's fine if not, because I'm trying to just work this out in my own head, my own plans. So, these things obviously didn't happen. So, I can work on them further, but shoot, this is gonna have to wait. I think I can. I don't know. I'm torn about finishing these props on stream or not. I'm pretty much, or I'm say halfway done with the gloves, and I'm definitely done with definitely done with the guns, and halfway done with the gloves. But I I don't know if it's any different than if I were recording them anyway, because I'm definitely recording the construction process to be put up later. I don't know. Right now we're flip-flopping how I want to do production, because before I had the issue of timing recordings with what I'm doing. I wouldn't record everything. Now I'm timing with what I want to put on camera versus what I want to put off camera. There are things, on and off stream. There are things like the Iron Cosmic Challenges, which I've been working on, which if I did stream them, if they were out there for people just to walk in and see, would ruin the surprise, the narrative of those types of videos. Oh well. So balancing the stuff I want people to see versus the people I don't, versus what I don't want people to see is something I'm going to need to work on. Also, just kind of wrangling people is a pain in the ass too, because I don't know when they just kind of show up whenever the fuck they feel like. There's like almost no scheduling them. I'm hoping that I can get some kind of regularity with them, because I don't know. I consider this a job, so I work typically from 9:30 to whenever my wife gets home, and if I have the energy, I'll work a little bit after that. But when the problem is with streaming, I can't run like the dishwasher, and I can't run the laundry. I'm kind of more nailed down to the camera, so it's harder to get those day-to-day things. And the trick here is then scheduling my daily routine around that kind of stuff, which I'm learning to do here now too. Wow, I'm really going at it. I'm really ranting on about what I'm doing. I don't know. So the current format I'm working on, and I'm hoping to get all this cleared up in about 2 weeks. If I have some Final Fantasy armor that I'm hoping to get the rest of the payment on, and also get shipping back on. The other thing is the Tales of some final. It's Tales of. I'm trying to get that done, as well as the. Okay, I need to clean up what I'm making. I need to really clean up what I'm making. So, I prefer. Yeah, I'm making not only like these giveaway things, but the regular commissions, which has to be done, otherwise I get in trouble. That's not always great. So I need to get my life back in order here. It's a bit of a transition phase. Alright. I don't know. As always, I'm making things. I will keep you guys updated. You guys keep me updated what's going on with you, what you want, and all that good stuff. And I will see you next time, Cosplay World. Good times to all. I'm going to hit this button now. I'm not going to edit out.